Yeah, that's right. We're playing TI in 2025. This is big when I was in high school, not to age myself or anything, but hi. Uh, we are between games right now at Siena College, an event hosted by the Albany Academy. Girls just finished a victory over Holy Names. I think it was 71-45. Don't quote me. I'll have the final score on the podcast. But senior Emily Thornton from the Bears of the Albany Academy. What up, Em? How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good, good. Congrats on the W. Certainly balled out yourself, especially in that second half. What was the? Because it was a close game. I think it was like a 2-point game, 1-point game going into half. What was it? Did Cap say something at half? Was there just a general philosophy change in the second half? What happened that allowed you guys to pull away in that second half?
Well, we really came together as a team. Cap talked to us at halftime. He was like, "Look, you guys, we give you all the tools you need to succeed, and you guys just have to follow it, basically." And collectively, as a team, I said in the locker room, was like, "Look, guys, we've got to stick together. We're going against each other, and we were playing individual games. And when we did come together, that's when we shined. And that's what we did in the second quarter. And it works well for us as a team. That's how we play. Is when we play together, we play great." So.
You look back at the two games before that. I'll give it to you in a second. So you look back at the two games before this, Columbia and Shaker, very much mirror images of each other. Where the Columbia game was, both games were close throughout, but there were advantages that weren't taken. There were opportunities that weren't taken advantage of. That's what I'm looking for. In the fourth quarters of both games, Columbia obviously had a ridiculous day shooting the foul shots, and Shaker was just shots not going down for Alex and Liana and everyone.
Even myself, yeah.
Right. So, was there anything learned from those two games that you're using as motivation going forward now?
I think we learned that we really just have to get in the gym more. If we're not making shots and stuff, we just have to keep getting in the gym, and we have to really come together the fourth quarter and figure it out, whether that's run a different play, whether that's change up our defense. Like, we're just going to try and adapt from that and, use that as motivation going into our upcoming games, because we have some big games coming up. So we want to, learn from that, like you said, learn from that and really pull together that fourth quarter. So we need someone to step up and do it. So.
Now you're a Voorheesville native. Originally started at Voorheesville. You were on varsity while you were still in middle school, technically, and then as a freshman before eventually transferring over for your sophomore year at Albany Academy. Transfer rules, nobody likes them. We don't discuss them. But all in all, looking back now, how do you feel about that decision that was made to leave Voorheesville, come to Academy, and how Coach Capitula has helped you over the last couple of years to really bring your game to another level?
Well, making that switch, it brought me some really good opportunities. Like, academically, I got some really good opportunities there. And honestly, coming from Voorheesville, I learned, we're all good players here. We all have potential. And, it was coming from a school where, there was still a lot of good players there and a lot of good coaching staff. But, it brought together more of an atmosphere that I like to see year round. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, realistically, I put all my work in over the summer. Academy basketball, I'm here to have fun. And I give my credit to Terrence and to Havoc and that program, because that was really where all the work was put in, and that's where I am that's where I'm at right now. So I'm giving that credit there.
So when we take a look at Havoc, you mentioned being a part of that program with Tifo and them, but there's something specific I want to bring up from the Havoc program. Good friend of mine, Shelby Preston.
I love Shelby.
Assistant coach at SUNY Cobblestone with Megan Bowman.
I love them.
I feel like I don't get all religious and godly, but I feel like God just naturally brought those two together, because they're like two peas in a pod the way they act. Talk a little bit about them and what your experience was like being around Shelby and Megan and just the Havoc program in general, because that's that's really a tight knit group that's formed over the last few years.
Yeah, the Havoc family, like we are a family. Terrence and all those coaches do a great job at really developing our game. And Shelby, I had as my freshman year coach, and that was a little bit of a wonky year. We were going in between girls, and girls were coming and going. But I mean, one thing about Shelby and even Meg is the energy is always there. Like Shelby is like just a big bundle of joy. Like it could be one of our worst games, and she would still be the one to give you a high five, and still be the one to be like, next shot. Same with Meg. Like Terrence. I love Terrence, but Terrence, when he gets on me in practices, he's like yelling at me. Meg is the one, she's like, I'm just like, chill, got it. And like they're both just fantastic coaches. I love them, and even the Havoc program, like. Terrence does a great job of creating such a great culture there where all the girls love each other. We just want to see everyone succeed. And he really lays it out. Like, if you got to be a dog to work there, you got to do 2 workouts a day. And that's Terrence really instilled that in me and so many other players. And, like, players come and go, and that's okay. And I know there's a lot of hate with Havoc and Terrence and how the way we play, but, like, that's, in my opinion, I see players, that's how, we succeed. That's just playing tough.
But what I would say, this is what I say to anyone who says that's tough. In the end, look at the, yes. I got 4, 5, 22.
I don't have a 22. What's 22's name?
Macon?
I got that's 12 here.
Oh, then he might be wearing 12 today, yeah. 24 and 30. I'll let you know if that changes, all right?
All right,
Coach Scully from CBA. It's all good. All right. So, all right. So the people that say that anything about Havoc, I mean, I don't.
They hate us locally, but they love us nationally. Like that's how it is.
There's certain programs I'm naturally drawn to. I helped with their signing day 16 months ago, I think it was.
Yeah.
Just look at the names. Taylor Holohan was starting at Northeastern. She's out for the year with injury. Olivia O'Mealy doing work at NJIT. Gabrielle Martin, Mercy. Katie Boyd doing work. Alex Moses, Canisius. Carissa Antoine doing work at Fordham as like the 6th man off the bench. There's a reason why y'all got the rep you got.
Yeah.
Just saying.
We're all just willing to put in the work, and we're willing to sacrifice everything. Like Terrence instills, like 2 workouts a day minimum. Like over the summer, that's what you got to do: 6 a.m. runs, 6 a.m. sprint workouts. Like that's where I got the way I am. Like last year, I was not in this not like this shape. I really changed over the summer, and it was like giving all the credit.
Good to see that.
So, he puts that bug in people. And then even you got upcoming players, Hannah Mosier, Kenna Hoyt, she's sitting in the stands. Like we're all here supporting each other. And it's amazing the family that he created.
You're experiencing the disadvantage of graduating from CBA. All the CBA people are just coming over. I'm sorry. All right, 3 more questions. Number 1, coming back to the team for a hot second. The last 2 years, you had clear vocal leaders. 2 years ago, it was Sage and Stillett.
Yeah.
Last year, Bella Vincent.
Yeah.
This year, I feel like that was the needle in the haystack that coaches were looking for, was somebody to kind of step up and be that vocal leader. And just from this being my first game watching you guys, I feel like I see it in bits and pieces from different people. I see it from you. I see it from Liana. I see it from Morgan Villa. Is there anyone in particular that's kind of taken the bull by the horns and become that vocal leader? Or has it been kind of like just a group mission for everybody to talk and keep each other accountable?
That's something we've been struggling with this year, is finding a way to keep everyone accountable. And there's been many talks about that this year. That's one of the hot topics, is like who's gonna not who, but in particular, but how we're gonna like adapt to the leaders on the team, and if we're all gonna be a group or if there's gonna be one individual person. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's only so much you can give, and it's just up to everybody else, and even like yourself to keep everybody accountable. You know, so that's one of the things that we're really trying to focus on in these upcoming games is finding those leaders and just collectively as a group, like getting more like communication on even defense or offense or like so that's one of the things we're working on, but that's a work in progress.
Obviously, you were very, very pointed in mentioning Gabrielle Martin because you're going to be a teammate of hers next year at Mercy. You've committed to Division II Mercy, so congratulations on that. Walk us through the decision real quick. Like, how many different schools were you considering seriously in the end, and what led you into deciding Mercy as your number one choice?
I had a really late start with my recruiting because coming off of this academy season, it was rough my junior year. It was a lot of a big mental game with me, and it took me a while to really get over that. Like coming into the upcoming Havoc season, like going through the beginning of the Havoc season, it was bad, and like I wasn't performing the way I wanted to. But as soon as like the end started going and I just started to chill out, like that's when I really started to shine. And so my recruiting was very late. So I don't know if you know, but I committed later October to Mercy. But going as soon as I stepped on Mercy's campus for their recruiting camp, I loved it. Like it was just everything that Coach Lagos and his coaching staff brought to the table, like their energy and even like the teammates and how like highly Gabby and Molly Bowie talk about like everything there. I just loved it, and it reminded me a lot of Havoc's atmosphere, and that's what really drawn me toward it. So like they just blew it out the competition for any schools. So
We got to keep the flow of Section 2 talent going there at this point because Gabrielle's there now. I want to say Jackie Stamich from Amsterdam is also there right now.
yes,
So we gotta keep it going. We got a rep to keep up with at Mercy.
yeah.
Last question, and I'm being very facetious when I say this. Give me your hand. How do y'all play with these? Now these are short by comparison. How like doesn't hurt the ball handling skills at all? Like nah.
No, it's just something you get used to. I
Just
don't
work
know.
around it.
Yeah, like I mean, the worst thing that's gonna happen is the ball's gonna hit it and it comes flying off. Like it's all right.
But I can't but notice there is one that's
Okay,
broken off.
yeah. We're not gonna talk about that one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
We're not gonna talk about
We're getting personal here. Sorry about that. Last thing.
that.
Senior year. You still have another game at Holy Names coming up. You have your home and home with Catholic Central.
Yep.
Does Colonial Council going to Colonial Council? You still have Chalmont down the road too, I believe.
Yes.
All in all, though, you look at Class A. How do you guys feel about it? Because you've been Class B last couple of years, won 2 straight sectional titles, got to states the last 2 years. Now you're in A. A little different feel, but all in all, it's still Holy Names you're going to see at the end more than likely.
Yeah.
Maybe maybe a different school there at A. Possibly, I'm blanking on the school I'm thinking of. Royal Albany Perth. That's what I was thinking of. Excuse me. There's a couple schools there in the running. All in all, though, how do you feel about the way things look for the team going forward the rest of the year?
I'm really excited. I mean, we're not going to underestimate everyone, and anyone. You know what I'm saying? So we're just going to play our game, and we're going to bring the energy, and we're just going to keep on going game by game. So we're just going to keep on fighting, and whatever's happens. We're just going to go have fun. Play some basketball. So we're excited.
Emily Thornton, senior for the Albany Academy Bears, fresh off a victory over Holy Names, and only 2.5 more months as a Bear.
Yeah.
And then you get to be, what are they, the Knights over at Mercy? Maverick.
Yep.
I'm much better at high school nicknames than college nicknames. I'm sorry. Emily Thornton, thanks for coming aboard, and
thanks for having me.
have fun the rest of the season. And don't don't let Cap be too much of a pain.
Oh, I won't. Don't
Yeah,
worry.
I'll stand on top of him too. I got you.
Thank